fan base. Wow. I'm quite sure you guys have seen and watched a fantastic game that the Eagles have actually won today for the first time in many, many moons. We had a 6 or 7 game losing streak that we happen to have snapped against the New Orleans Saints. We won this game 24-21. We actually led this game 17 and I think 17-0 during the first half of this game, and the Saints try to make a miraculous comeback in the second half of this game, but the Eagles were able to pull it out. Even though that the Saints had managed to get a couple of touchdown passes on us in the second half of the game, the Eagles were able to maintain and hold on the winning football game 24-21. Jalen Hurts did spectacular for the first time in a long time, something we haven't had or something we haven't seen in a while. He threw for over 100 and I think 14, 15 yards, somewhere along up in there. Might have been a little bit more than that. And he ran for 100 and I think 6 or 7 yards. He threw for 2 touchdown passes in this game. And I think Miles Sanders ran for one, and that we're going to discuss Miles Sanders in a few minutes in this video, but I'm just spectacular that we were able to maintain and win the football game. The offensive line held up real well. I think Hurts got sacked one time in the game, I believe, 1 or 2 times in the football game. But overall, he had a good pocket presence. He was able to get the ball out efficiently. No interception thrown in this ball game. In the last game against the Green Bay Packers, he threw for 1 touchdown pass and 1 pick. But in this game against the Saints, he threw for 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions in this football game. So the Eagles ran the football well. And now we're going to get to Miles Sanders. Because Miles Sanders had an 82-yard run. And that's his longest run of the season. The last time Miles Sanders had that many yards rushing or in one game was early in the season. I think it was like I think we came back after the bye week, and he had over 100 yards. Over 70-some yards rushing, but that was over so many carries. But in this one carry, he had 82 yards rushing off that one carry, and he finished with 115 or 20 yards, 1 score. And offense just held up pretty well. And I got to admit it, it did extraordinarily well. The defense, wow. What more can you say? The defensive front held up real extraordinarily well. They got to Taysom here, I think we had 5 sacks in this game, and that's the most sacks the Eagles had in one game in a while, and that's a record in itself. Overall, the Eagles have had like 2 or 3 sacks in quite a few games this year, and I think the most sacks they had in one game was 4. So we got 5 sacks, and that kind of broke the record earlier in the year. But 5 sacks in one game is spectacular. 1 interception thrown. That was intercepted by one of the linebackers in this game. So overall, it was a good team effort. Now here's where the issues need to be fixed. Doug Peterson still need to continue to call run plays. He ran the ball real well in the football game, but he kind of ran it in the first half, but in the second half he kind of backed off it a little bit. But he was still able to get some efficient runs from the quarterback and from the run game itself in Miles Sanders, which equaled up to most of the total yardage in the first half versus the second half. So I am completely thrilled about the defense. Like I said, they got a lot of sacks, interceptions, a lot of tackles, but we had 3 injuries, and that's going to bother us in this game against the Cardinals, who is our next opponent. The Cardinals our next opponent now. I think we got to go at Arizona to play that football game. So The Cardinals beat the Giants today, 23-3, I believe. They beat the Giants, so now the Giants is behind the Washington Redskins, who actually won the day against the San Francisco 49ers. They now are 5-7, I believe. I think they 5-7. So they are in. So they either 5-7 or 6-7. They are in sole possession of the NFC East. They behind the Eagles 2 games. Washington Redskins, the New York Giants 2 games. New York Giants 1 game and 2 games behind the Eagles. In front of the Eagles. So this division look like it's gonna come down against the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles in the Week 16 game. Because this is actually Week 4. This is actually Week 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, this is actually Week 13 here. So 3 more games to go, and that's against the Arizona Cardinals, the Cowboys, and the Redskins. So yeah, this is Week 13 that we are actually completing for this season. So this was a total team effort, a total team win. I can't recall the last time we had a total team win. I'm thrilled that they were able to get this game sealed, complete, and done with. Like I said, we led in the first half, and we led most of the second half until the Saints battle back with 2 scores of their own. So defensively, they did well. Offensively, they did well. Run game, passing game. Alshon Jeffrey had 1 catch for 20-some yards, 1 score, and that's his first touchdown of the season. Jalen Reagor had 1 catch, and he ran it like 35, 40 yards up the field for a 4 score. Miles Sanders did throw everywhere. Like I said, he had that long 82-yard run, on 82-yard run, the longest of his career, and he finished the game with 116 yards rushing, somewhere longer than that. I might be off on the yards, but it's more than 110 yards rushing. I do know that for sure. I mean, what more can you say? Fletcher Cox, number 91 himself, had a sack. Josh Wentz had 2 sacks. I think Barnett had 1 sack, so that's 4 sacks. And 1 sack, yeah, and Hargrove had 1 sack. So that's your 5 sacks right there from the defensive line. Like I said, the injuries. We had who did they got injured? Avante, Maddox got hurt. Let me see. The Cleon got hurt, and then we had Clay. Clay Jr. had a head injury, and he got hurt as well. So we don't know the extension of Clay's injury. Other than it would have been a head injury. It could be a concussion, so we don't know that for sure. But maybe between Monday and Wednesday, we probably know the prognosis of Clay Jr.'s head injury, and whereas the other 2 guys that got hurt on defense, because now we're not quite thin at the defensive back position, which I believe the Eagles are going to call some more defensive backs from the roster this year, because now it's officially too late now to add players to the to the practice squad, because we only got 4 games left in the season. So you really ain't gonna need to add more players to your to the practice squad, because like I said before, now the season coming close to an end. We got 4 more games to go in the regular season, and then before we'll know who won the division for the Eagles and Washington Redskins concerned. Like I said, it's gonna come down to Washington and the Eagles for the division crown, with the possibility of going on the road or having 1 playoff home game, and then from there they go on the road. So that's what it's going to depend on, who's going to win the division and who's going to have their first playoff home home playoff game at home. So nothing more to say here other than I'm not gonna say I'm happy. I'm not gonna say I am glad, but I am satisfied with the victory because it was a hard-fought victory, team effort, defense, defense, special teams, offense, and now the play calling is still an issue as well because Doug Peterson needs to get better at running the ball. Like I said earlier in the video, he had the run game going real well in the first half. In the second half, he kind of backed up off it just a little bit. So he needs to continue to stay on the pace for the run game because now you got a quarterback that can run the ball, and you got Miles Sanders who can run the football. So I'm hoping to see some more run plays next week against the Cardinals because we're going on the road to play the Cardinals. And then we got to go. Then the Cowboys had to come to Philadelphia, and then we got to go to Washington. So it's a road game against Washington Redskins, a home game against Dallas, and a road game against the Cardinals. So, but the Cardinals is our next opponent. So, other than I can just say a couple of things to end this video on a good note. We won the game fair and square. It was a hard-fought victory. And a bunch of Eagle fans out there are happy, more than happy. Some of them wanted Jalen Hurts to play the game. Y'all got your wish. Some of us still wanted Carson Wentz to play the football game, but some of the people are probably right about Carson Wentz. He probably needs to stay off the field for a few games, get his head back on straight, and maybe the last game against the Washington Redskins, he might play the last game against the Washington Redskins. So that's something to look forward to. But no, like I said, I'm satisfied with the victory. We got it. It is what it is. So week 13, the Eagles win 24-21. Jalen Hurts, his first full starter on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles. He won the football game for the Eagles. Miles Sanders had 100 yards rushing. Hurts had 100 yards rushing as well as 100 plus yards passing, 2 touchdowns on the passing attempts, and Miles Sanders had a touchdown as well. So it is what it is. So this is your boy, the Green Talents, coming at you guys with another video. Week 13 victory, 24-21 against the New Orleans Saints. Peace, one love.